Hiya. So, back again. Hot after doing like 10 hours with live streaming in a week. Maybe not quite hot, it was like 3 weeks ago. Anyway, I kind of feel a bit spoilt from the whole live streaming thing because I really like the not editing stuff afterwards. So today, we're going to try one take. Multiple cameras, but one take. And we're going to talk about the FlySky Noble Pro. Might go a bit over the history that I've had with controls and stuff as well, just to give a bit of the background of where I'm coming from. So a couple of years back, I started getting back into RC and I did drifting. And I bought a second-hand car with a second-hand controller, and it was a Sanwa M15. Big lump of a thing. It was kind of awesome. It was a really good controller. It was just a big lump of a thing. And I started looking for another transmitter like 6 months in or whatever. And I came across the FlySky Noble. And then I bought myself one, and I absolutely loved it. Why don't I use it anymore, you may ask? Well, that is because I'm foolish. And when I was still drifting, I started using AccuVan speed controllers. And the AccuVan speed controllers, or ESCs, or however you want to term it, you can tune them straight from your controller if you've got an S-bus converter and an expensive controller. So I went out and purchased this, which is the Futaba 10PX, and that's what I was using when I was finishing the drifting thing when I started racing. Lovely controller. Obviously, it's Futaba, and yeah. Oh, bollocks! Didn't run the intro. Intro. I did say a lot of this would go wrong, didn't I? Anyway. So yeah, I bought the Futaba 10PX, and that's what I've been using for racing and so forth. Lovely controller, but I do kind of miss my Noble. And I started thinking about Noble a bit more the last few weeks because, as you know from all the build videos and everything, I seem to amassing a small amount of regional cars. And I had an idea that maybe, just maybe, people might want to rent them out to the local club, and therefore they can try a new car before they actually buy it. And I could recoup some of the stupid amounts of money I'm spending on them. And my initial plan was, well, got the Agama coming up and the new PR racing, and we got the B7 and the Mugen. It's probably just going to be experienced people that want to try it. So I'll just do them as, sliders, and they can shove their own receiver and transponder in, use their own controller and batteries and everything, and jobs are good in. Then people started asking, well, more like stating, it'd be very good for people that have never raced before to be able to give it a go. And you know what? It's a pretty decent idea, isn't it? Because to try hobby, it can be a bit pricey. Even if you're just doing it secondhand, it's a bit of a money to shell out to just give it a go for a weekend and find out you don't like it. So yeah, it was suggested, and I kind of agreed that it'd be nice to do, full buggy, Lender batteries, control and everything. Now, as you may know, the Futaba 10PX, not cheap, neither is the receivers. And all my buggies currently have receivers for the 10PX. And there was no way I was going to go out and get the 10PX, especially as I've been kind of doubting my decision in the first place. So my mind swung back to the Noble NB4 because it was a great controller. Like I said, the only reason I changed it was to, do the AccuVan tuning on screen, and really it was a moment of silliness that I bought the 10PX. So I started looking at the NB4s again, and when I first bought it like 2 years ago, there was the NB4 and there was the NB4 Pro. They've released a new generation now. So there's now the NB4 Plus and the NB4 Pro Plus. I really hope I got those right. It'd be so embarrassing if I got them wrong. Well, let's just go for it anyway. So I did a bit of looking, and I thought, at least with the price of the receivers being like a third of the Futaba controllers, for the amount I could probably sell the Futaba and the 6 or 7 receivers I've got, I might be able to get a couple of nobles and not actually have any suffrage of performance, because it was never a performance thing that I swapped out for. And actually, on the day that mine got delivered, Ryan Styles Harris, brilliant channel if you don't follow him, go and have a look. He just released a video 2 days ago when mine got delivered, going over, and he just did the NB4 Plus, going over how he found it and so forth. So check out his channel for his video on the performance. Obviously, he's got better insight than me because I ain't that good. But yeah, so we got one. I decided to get the Pro first, see what it's like. Oh, look, camera change. And here it is. It's quite a nice unit. It feels like a nice quality item. It doesn't feel as plasticky as the Futaba. And it's a bit smaller as well, a bit more svelte. It actually feels like quite a quality item. And when you're looking over it and touching it and feeling it, the removable battery case at the bottom, this is just like a little power pack. There is actually a battery in the handle, but that's kind of alloy clad on the top, and it's wireless charging underneath. And the bezel around here is like an aluminium shell. It actually comes with a little mount. You can either mount like a GoPro or whatever in there, or it comes with a phone mount. I did foolishly put my phone in this and on the controller, and I picked it up and I quickly realised that when you've got quite a chunky phone on it and everything, it's a bit weighty, a bit top heavy with the phone on it, but just the unit itself is right nice. The wheel here is some sort of alloy as well. It just really does feel like a quality unit. Get a few things with it. You get a spare wheel, slightly bigger than the one that comes on it. You do have this little disc brake and caliper as well, which is usually inside there, so usually looks a bit more like that. And that was actually the bit that I was most fearful over, because it just felt like a bit of useless bling. Luckily, it just pushes out, so that can go over there. So yeah, you get spare steering wheel, like I said, the phone mount and everything. Like I said, the full case. This full case is removable, so you can either have this handle on the back or not. I decided I quite like the handle, so the handle stays. We get a few other bits like the extension for the phone mount. You get another back plate for the wheel as well, which controls the travel of the wheel. The one that's I've put on it at the moment, that's the maximum travel one. I think that's about, I think it's about 35 degrees when you're turning it. And you got this one as well, which you've got 2 little grub screws in, so you can further limit it if you want. So instead of having the full end-to-end travel here, you can limit it down, of course, adjusting the menu that you're still getting full travel on the servo, but it's a bit quicker on the wheel. You also get a few different sizes of brake trigger as well. So the different sizes, but they've got a fixed angle. You also get like this one, which has no little tab at the top. So you can actually vary it a lot. Now, my NB4 had one of these, and I always had a little bit of trouble that I never really wanted to torque it up tight. It's a teeny tiny screw on it. And through the evening when I was drifting, I always used to just kind of wiggle further away. So I definitely wanted to use one of the metal ones with the tabs. But you get a selection there as well. And if you have a look here, got this knob here, which is one style of knob that you can put on, which is got 3 centers on it, quite nicely indexed, or you can put the other style of knob on and it's just a full variable on one of the channels from 0 to 100%. And like I said, you get 2 of each, so they'll loiter around here as well. Out of that, you get soft springs and hard springs, and it all feels, you know, quality. It's not like just junk shoved in there. I'm not quite sure you'd want your phone on your handset. I briefly thought it might be useful for if I needed to, you know, adjust my ESC by Bluetooth on my phone, or you know, if I want to use the phone for a bit of video recording and stuff. But that feels a little bit like a gimmick to me. So I don't think I'll be shoving that on, especially with the weight that comes with it. Oh, and you get a couple of extra screen protectors as well for it. But all in all, that lot feels pretty nice. You get 2 receivers as well. Now, and go through the history of the controllers again a sec. So, yeah, like I said, when I started racing, I was using the 10px. And with the 10px, you either get the choice of internal aerial receiver or external. I got a bunch of these internal aerial receivers. So we're just going to put that there for a bit of a size comparison. Start of last year, I thought, you know what? When I was a kid, I raced with sticks. I'm going to try sticks again, see if I'm any better with it. Spoiler, I was not. Didn't quite get back into it, but I picked up a T4G RS just to give it a crack. Again, you can get receivers either with internal aerials or external, and this is the one for the T4G RS internal, so you get a bit of a size comparison there. You get 2 receivers with the Pro, and both of them have got external aerials, but that's the 8-channel one. And then you've got the 4-channel one. So as you can see, it's quite a small receiver. You can get internal aerial ones as well. You've got to buy them separate. But luckily, I do have the receiver that you get with the NB4. It's still compatible. Is it AFHDS or something like that? AFDS? You can look it up. AFDS3 or something like that. And all the receivers and the controllers, you know, with AFDS3 or whatever it is, you can utilize. And the one for the NB4 looks like that. Teeny tiny little thing. And I believe the dimensions for the one that's specifically made for the Pro, even though this is compatible anyway, is just about the same. One frustrating thing about this is, and it's a teeny tiny niggle as well, you have to use a bind plug to bind it to the controller, whereas the newer ones come with a little bind button. For that reason, the internal aerial one for the new range slightly bigger. I say for that reason. I assume for that reason. Seems like a decent assumption, but slightly bigger. I think it's like 2mm along one length or something. As you can tell, you can get some teeny tiny receivers for them, and for me anyway, the really important thing is so cheap. Usually you can pick these ones up for the MB4 for about 29 to 35 quid. Although Mick did just pick one up on AliExpress, and it seems totally legit and it totally works, for £17 or £19. I think it was £17. He'll comment in a bit and correct me. But as you can tell, when the ones for the 10px can cost between 75 and 100, depending on supplier, and they've dropped in price now. You can usually get them for about 75 to 79, but when I first got them, they're basically 90 odd. The idea of renting out cars and having to double up on receivers and controllers with the Futaba range was not a pleasant one. Anyway, so that covers a bit of the receivers. Now, like I said, Ryan Harris. Oh, the other thing you get with it, you get a lovely box, lovely case. Zoom out a little bit here. Proper hard case, lovely cut foam insert. Fits the controller, something wicked. To keep it nice and safe. Lovely box. And, something with like the Futaba or the Sanwa or whatever, you usually buy in the box separate. It just feels like good quality stuff and quite good value for money. So anyway, like I was saying, Brian Harris has done a bit of a walkthrough of the MB4 about the performance and how it worked for him. I haven't tried this one yet. I did try the original MB4, and like I said, performance-wise, I loved it. But just see if we can get this all focused in so you can see the screen. So it's a full color touchscreen. Some nice features. Now, the Futaba. I'm not sure if you know, but I work in IT. I play with computers most days, like all day. And the Futaba and the manual and the menu system, very customizable, but not the most user-friendly. To the point of I got bored and just done a couple of things in it to get enough to run the buggy and access some of the menu options quickly and assign stuff to buttons, but then kind of just left it because, yeah, it wasn't the most user-friendly. Whereas this is really quite user-friendly. You get 4 quick menus that you can operate on the swipes, and you can select which ones go where. Of course, there you go. So just swipe across the screen, you get into the menus that you set. You know, whether it's in my case, it's the menu, model menu and the timer and the key assigns. In the main menu itself, you get like 3 pages of options, and it covers quite a lot. You don't need all the features in there. I haven't played with all the features in there, but it's got all the common ones like dual rate for the brakes, ATL for the dual rate for the steering, ATL for the brakes, endpoints, adjustments, and all that sort of stuff. Channel reverse, all the system settings, the model menu. You know, just the speed of the servos and all sorts. And new on this one actually, I'm pretty sure the old NB4 didn't have the options of being able to set different conditions to flick between. But quite a nice feature-rich menu, which you can't really tell the colours on the camera because we're getting a bit of reflection from the light up there as well. But it's actually quite a nice responsive screen. But you can also cut down on that menu a little bit as well. If we just go into the one that I was setting for the Mugen, all nice and easy to flick around between. But I've cut off all the options that I never use, so I've just got the one screen of options. Makes it a lot easier when you're fiddling around on race day trying to find whatever setting it is that you want. And it's really easy to assign things to keys. As I said, I've got this side menu here. Each one of them just points to one of the buttons or dials on the controller, and you can just push on it and say if it, you know, what type it is, whether it's a 2-position or 3-position or whatever. You can select what function it controls, and you can flick if it's normal or reversed or whatever. It's just really quite easy to use and understand. I don't use many features set up on here. I've got I actually set the steering trims on these paddle buttons because I find it a bit easier when usually when my trim's off, I'm fiddling it while going down the straight. So it's a bit easier just to flick these rather than fiddle with one of the knobs or whatever for the steering trim. I've got the ATL set on one of those dials there, which you can fiddle with your thumb while you're driving. And oh, sorry, the brake of air I put on here, and the steering wheel rate I've put on the little thumb wheel there. But all very easy. Oh, and the other thing is this little button here. I set that to start and finish, stop the timer and do lap times and everything. So if I'm out practicing when I'm not racing, I can just squeeze the handle bit and record a lap or whatever. So really quite nice. Yeah, I want to play it. So really, this is just a bit of a preview because I haven't had time to. Oh, you get 2 different size handles as well. Didn't mention that because the handle is off over there somewhere. But yeah, you get a handle to adjust there. Oh, other things. I think most people know that the whole wheel is adjustable left and right. And this is another bugbear that I had with the Futaba, because my mate Mick, you've met Mick, he's the one that spent 4.5 hours building a truck the other day on the live stream. He's right-handed, but for some reason he drives left-handed. And every time we've picked up another one of these buggies or whatever, he doesn't really want to try it because the controller's the wrong way around for him. He uses a Noble now anyway. But that's another nice reason for myself, it's a very personal reason, to have it. So Mick can just flick it round and have a go on it. You get the spring adjustment there for the steering wheel. You can adjust the position of the trigger forwards and aft using the screw through there. The trigger spring is adjusted on that screw there. So all the usual settings. I think the main thing that I think about the Nobles is I think it's just a really high quality unit for quite a decent price, especially compared to how I feel about the Futaba and previously the Sanwa. It feels like you get a lot more value for money with the FlySky. But hopefully next weekend we'll be able to try it in anger and give a bit of feedback on the performance. But like I said, Brian Styles Harris on his channel, I'll see if I can find a link and shove it in the description or something. But he's done a bit more of a, it seems like he's had his NB4 Plus a couple of weeks, has already been out racing it and everything, and he had some very positive feedback on the performance of the device. Let me just flick this back to you because I'm not sure much on there at the moment. Yeah, he had some very positive feedback on the performance of the device. And to be fair, performance-wise, you're probably better off listening to him. He's far better than I'm ever going to be. But, yeah. So, but we'll get this paired up to some of the buggies. Hopefully we're going to, well, what they just said on the Discord channel is we might be going to Chesterfield Cars next weekend, which is actually in Alfreton, I think. I'm very easily confused. I'm old, can you not tell from the beard? Anyway, I think next Saturday we're going to Cars, and it'll be the first outing of this for myself. And hopefully get a bit more information for you next week. We might even try to record some stuff while we're there. Probably won't get time. We'll give it a go anyway. Right, so all being said and done, I think I've got through this without any mistakes, or many mistakes. Probably quite a few mistakes. I think I've turned the microphones on. So just going to say goodbye for now, and hopefully catch you again soon. You all take care.